All right, family. We live. We got a Patreon preview, family, today. Why ICE people never worship sun gods. I'm gonna give you a little gem today, but I want you to get on over there to get the full exclusive presentation on Patreon. And it's necessary. I don't just make up titles for no damn reason. You see, I don't make up titles for no damn reason. And why did I choose why ICE people never worship sun god? Because majority of these religions out here, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and you know, they're undercover solar religions, and they only using the sun to trap you, because they know by nature that you a child of the sun, you know, and regardless, even when we watch, you know, when we see religious photos on the internet, if the sun is back there and you see the bright, it ain't got to have nothing but the sun, and they put a quote from the Bible and shit, they know that invigorates you. You see, yeah, you know, and so what they do a lot of times, they attach certain information to cosmological entities that they truly not even attached to themselves. They do it to trap you. That's why they do it, to trap you. And so, Jesus is in essence the S-U-N. You see, but they kidnapped the soul. They hijacked the solar worship. You see, in an attached anthropomorphic image of a white man, a white woman, a white child, you know, Joseph, Mary, Jesus. And so you caught up in so not understanding that this is solar mythos. You see, it ain't got nothing to do with no, the anthropomorphic is for someone, who like little fairy tales. They not trying to give you the truth. They trying to give you a fairy tale, because they know you niggas. They know the layman. They know the average cat. That's all they want. They want a fairy tale. They don't want no truth. They don't want no science. They don't want no cosmology. You see, they don't want none of that. Something that's going to really elevate them in their divinity and their spirituality. They want to play with the mythology. They want to play with the Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Jesus rolls on. And when you listen to all the information that come out about the goddamn, you hear Jesus rose from the grave, you see, and things of that nature, and died on the cross and all of this, and not understanding that this is the solar cross. A lot of time the churches put the shit up there for you, but they know that you got the layman's mind, that you're not going to be able to break through the symbolism that a lot of them put right there in front of your face. It's the solar cross. You see, when you talk about the sun died on, it's the solar cross is the equinoxes and the solstices. You see, and then there's other aspects of the cross within that cosmological understanding, because there's, you got the sun that also has this revolution. So you got a greater cross. You see, you got a greater cross, but within that, the equinoxes is and the solstices, the cardinal points, you see, is a cross, and so the sun died on and rose again. And so it's springtime and the sun, and so there's great festivals and so on and so forth. Is actually solar mythos. But you don't never really connect to the cosmology. You worshiping some dead goddamn cracker on the cross. You see what I'm saying? And it don't do nothing for your divinity, because even though you see the symbolisms there, they tell you all the time, don't Don't let me the pastor, the imam, and all that. They say niggas who venerate and intertwine with that cosmology, and y'all motherfuckers is on some heathenism, idolatry. You see, you're on witchcraft or whatever they say. This is what they say when you make that connection, you know. And so, you know, studying them and understanding the depth of their wickedness. You see, understanding the depth of their wickedness. You know, creating these religions, and like I say, the solar, the halo. You see the halo that come out of the ancient Kemet. But see, in Kemet, the sun disk would be over the head, not behind the head. See, they have demoted the sun. The sun has been demoted. Okay, but in ancient Egypt, it was primal. It was top center. You see, it was top center. It was not down behind the head. But because people by nature identify the sun with God, you see, that's just what it is. God is a sun and a shield. See, you can manipulate the sun. You see, and that's what they're doing because in religion, what they do is they push the sun down behind the head. You see, now that takes it from being primal. It's down behind the head. And so what it gives you the illusion, you see, when you see the halo behind Jesus' head, and that's the power emanating from them, the image. You see? Then so you know that halo, that's the power that's emanating from the image. And so by worshiping the image, you see, you make the connection to the holy, to the divinity. You see, and so you get tricked into venerating the image, when in reality is the sun that gives that thing holiness. It's not even holy. But in religion, and I teach this, so you know, in religion, if a person is holy, it could be a saint, it could be a prophet. It got a halo. That's how you could tell somebody from the average person from someone who is divine, who is holy. It'll have a halo. It don't matter if it's Hinduism. It don't matter if it's Judaism, Islam. It don't matter what religion it is. It'll have a halo behind his head. That's solar veneration. You see? But what again, they have manipulated. See, that's witchcraft. They practicing witchcraft because they manipulating it. You know, they're just like putting cheese on the trap. They know that we are connected to the sun. They know that we venerate the sun, you know, by nature. You see what I'm saying? By nature, we no different than these damn trees out here. You know, we no different than, you know, anything that moves. You see, when the sun come out, everything is life. Everything is moving. You see, and so, you know, so just showing the sun by itself, putting, you know, something from the Bible up there. You see what I'm saying? Just putting something from the Bible up there. You know, it gives, it's almost like the drum. You know, it's just like the drum, and you know, the sun is in that same instant, because the drum opened up chambers. You see what I'm saying? It opens up chambers. When you motherfuckers hitting that drum, they like priests. You see what I'm saying? They can open, and what comes behind that rhythm can destroy, it could build. You see, just like that hip hop, they didn't learn that shit from from ancient time, that the shit that comes behind the drum. You know, the drum opens it up. It's the key. It opens up chambers in the soul. And those who are very proficient and are priestly, they know how to open up all kind of chambers with the drum. And so some of these niggas that beating these, you know, that know how to, you know, get on these drum machines, they no different than a priest from ancient time. They know how to manipulate the beats. You see what I'm saying? They know what they doing. They ain't just no motherfucker that don't know. They know what they doing. And so they'll go get the right motherfucking MC. They'll go get the right motherfucking MC that know. You see what I'm saying? To put that destructive lyric and shit in there. You see, they know how to do that. And so this is not by chance that they do this. Okay? This is not by chance that they do this. So understanding why ICE people, and so you could disconnect, because reality is, I show in many instances, they're just like, they create their own, images and shit. And I like this one behind me. See, I went in there and this is really how they look at the sun. They see the sun as a angry entity. You see, because when they burning and shit and this, that, and the third, they in pain. And so they actually see, they don't see the sun as a life-giving. You understand? They can say that shit until they get their ass out there. And then when that shit get hot and that goddamn skin get the peeling and shit, and that pain from them goddamn, get on they see, so these are their own creation. I don't manipulate none. Some niggas go get AI and manipulate. I don't manipulate shit. I like originality. You see what I'm saying? So I go get images that are directly from the mind, and I get them where it's on some shit where they ain't thinking about what I'm talking about. So they won't be hiding that fact. You see, so I go looking and shit, in certain areas of, of thinking and, where they just gonna put how they feel. You see how they truly feel about the sun. And so this is how they, what they really think. The sun is the enemy. The sun is the enemy. When you talk about Ragnarok, you see, which is this event in Viking mythology where it's the death of the gods. You see, it's the death of the gods. It's Ragnarok. Is this time where this fire demon, Surtur, he come back and he got this sword and it's a flame in Asgard, and he comes and he set that sword on that eternal flame. And when he light that flame, that's the beginning of Ragnarok. You see, the death of the gods, the twilight of the gods. You feel me? And so even there, that's symbolism. See, Surtur is the sun. You see? They know because our ancestors then already told them. They didn't already told them, because just like you got an ice age, you got an age where it is hot. That's just the balance of the universe. Me and my wife was just watching a video by Dr. Ben, and he was talking about that. If you watch that lecture about Nubia, and he talks about the circle with the dot in it, and he talks about, in an engineering way, it don't matter where you at in that motherfucking, in order to stay because the circle is the force field. You see what I'm saying? So in order to stay inside the force field, no matter where you at inside of that circle, that the force on the opposite side of you got to be equal with the force on, on the other side, wherever you located on, I guess, left or right, it have to be equal in order for you to stay in the force field. It got to be a balance, you see, which is considered the laws of opposites. You see, it's considered the laws of opposites, and understanding that if it's an ice age, then it's going to be a hot age, where it's going to get so goddamn hot on this motherfucker to where, and now that's what they really trying to say is global warming. You see, but it's something that's going to happen regardless to whatever the fuck they do. It's going to happen because it's based on the laws of nature. It's a cosmological law that we're going to go into areas where it's going to get so goddamn hot on this motherfucker. But we got all the abilities to elevate. You understand? It ain't going to do shit to us. It ain't gonna do a goddamn thing to us because we already been through it. But we know that it's a cleanse, and they know it. They know it. You see, they done seen some of them scrolls, and that's why they don't want to really release the fact. Because if you really understood the netters like you supposed, that's what it's gonna relate to, and they know they don't have no place in no solar divinity. They know that, and you a goddamn fool if you think any otherwise. They ain't got no place. Only thing they could show in solar is the death of they kind. That's all they can show. And so I never make nothing. I just go and show people how they think about themselves. But I'm quiet. I don't go and find shit that, that's been created by their own mythologies and shit, where they ain't expecting me to go. And so you can see them and how they think without them thinking somebody watching them about anything. You just want them to say what's on their mind, how they feel about shit. You know what I'm saying? And as I started studying all these mythologies, they end up it's the same fucking mythology over and over and over. Even Icarus flying too close to the sun and his motherfucking wings burn off his back. Adam and Eve being put out the goddamn garden, and they putting their hand up and trying to block out the rays of the sun. Ragnarok. You feel me? You see Ragnarok and shit. And here come this fire demon coming to destroy. And Revelations is, the sun, the return of the sun. But this is a vengeful sun. See? This is a vengeful. So you got to understand what you're seeing behind me. It's a vengeful sun. You feel me? It's a vengeful son. And so now, in retrospect to that, and I had to say this because I'm laughing. Because, we are diametric opposites. Okay? And that's why you can never, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, ain't no way no Champollion could ever decipher anything about black people. You see what I'm saying? Because ain't no way a white man, white woman, white child could ever conceive how we interpret reality, how we interpret the spirituality from from the essence of who we are. They would never be able to come that way. You understand what I'm saying? To make that type of translation or, from our point of view, they could never do that. So ain't no way you gonna make that alone. They never think like we think. We're diametric opposite. We always think totally different. And now they could learn some shit. Now they could mimic some shit. But if you started to, all these words we make up, and I done went over that 1,000 times, they never, that's fresh. You see what I'm saying? We say that's death. Now, goddamn well, that's death. That means the same thing as fresh. You see what I'm saying? We were saying that, man, that's death. Motherfuckers say that's death. God damn, man. You better dig a grave. You see what I'm saying? You gonna dig a grave? That's death. You better not mess with that. You see, but all the time. So if they don't come in and they don't understand, they can't understand nothing from our essence. So you're not gonna tell me a white man who ain't never had ain't black, ain't even had no black people to help him or that understood nothing about our people. You see what I'm saying? And so that's that. That's that. So understanding that we are diametric opposite. And so even our gods are totally opposite. You understand what I'm saying? They got gods and shit that Thor, that's raining, that's bringing the clouds to block out this angry sun. That's blocking out this angry sun. You see? So Thor, Odin, Zeus, all of these are storm gods. These are the supreme deities of Caucasians. Okay, somebody that's gonna come and put some water on their ass to put that fire out. You see, but they rather have it snow than have that goddamn that 100 degrees out there. They rather for it the goddamn snow. You see, just let it be known. They don't thrive in the Summer Olympics. They created the Winter Olympics strictly for them. You know, that's where they thrive at the Winter Olympics. They ain't gonna get on out there on that track and field, no basketball, no football. They mad at now because the young brother, Shador Sanders and shit. You know, because that quarterback shit is historically supposed to be a white man position. You see what I'm saying? Now you got brothers coming in. Not only is they throwing shit, they a quarterback, half running back, motherfucker. He everything. The goddamn quarterback, everything. He a black quarterback. Motherfucker catch it. He motherfucker throw it to himself. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker throw the motherfucking ball, then run down the goddamn field and catch the motherfucker himself and run it in. They ain't doing that. So, you know, that's a reality. They don't want him. And so they embarrassing him and this, that, and the third, because that's how dynamic we is in any subject, including spirituality, divine thought, and, you know, religions and things of that nature. And so I had to bring this up because you done been hijacked. You know, they're using all this solar veneration in Christianity, Judaism, Islam as a cheese on the trap to get you in there, and so that they can kidnap your spirituality. But family, I got the link right up there, and I ain't gonna take this. That goddamn that background is enough to drive them insane that we put it up because they know it's 100% true. But I got a lot of images I want to show you, family. This is part one. All you have to do is hit the link right there and you can get it. You can get it, but be strong. Be strong now. Be strong. I know some of they got crackatosis and they love the white Jesus. You know, they love the white Jesus more than they love the son. And I know that could cause a lot of trauma for you. But I tell you what, sometimes you just had to go, you had to go through it, you see, so that you can cleanse and purify and detox. This is General Sarah Sunseti saying, hey, hit that link, become a patron, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.